sometimes as men, we just need to take a backseat role. We ain't always got to be in charge, always got to be leading. We ain't even got to be involved sometimes. And in this one, you're definitely going to see that. So like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, enjoy.
Hey, welcome to Married and Unfiltered. This is Kiah, and I have a special guest here.
Special guest or like best friend? So best friends. Lateshia here, flew all the way from Germany to see my bestie.
No, okay, she be extra. She definitely want to go see her family. So let's not get this all mixed up.
I did do that first, but then this one, she could not see me.
She got flued out.
Okay. That's how you treat me, right?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Look, y'all. We already started this intro real extra at this point. So look, check it out. It's going to be something a little bit different this time. So go ahead and listen to what we got. As I said before in our intro, it's looking a little bit different. I do not have RaMone here today.
Mm-hmm.
I have Miss Lateshia here taking over.
Thank you for saying my government.
So we're going to do something a little bit different, like I said, and it's going to be kind of like a girl talk, a girl chat, and kind of go a little bit deeper into who we are, how we met, and then doing something about what women want from a single perspective and a married perspective. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, I'm gonna let you, because you tell the story better. How did we meet essentially? How did we know each other?
So I want to start this off by saying she did not like me at first. I'm sticking to that story for the rest of my life. But we actually met through a mutual friend that we had at the time. That person is no longer our friend. But that's why you grow, you live, people just change. So it's fine. But we did meet through this mutual friend. We started hanging out and we just kind of had the same mindset, wanted the same things. We were interested in finding out, hey, let's do this dating thing. Let's figure out where the men are. Where are they?
This is the person I met in 2015. If y'all remember the past episodes, I'll be like, 2015, I lived my best life. I had a good time. This is the person I was with in 2015.
That was me. She was the heavy influencer on that. I was just along for the ride. I don't know. I was,
Whatever, no. That's a lie. That's a whole lie. But we actually met, which I think is crazy, is actually in high school officially.
Yes.
So I guess the year we graduated or whatever.
Yep.
And then I didn't
to see a musical.
Oh yeah, you remember? With Dreamgirls.
Yes.
We was.
So we love Dreamgirls, and
I just love musicals. I can't sing, but I love a good musical.
Yes, can't sing a lick, but will definitely perform. Me too. Shoot, I can't sing anything.
But we met then, like I guess 25. That was 2008. So then in 2015 again, we end up this mutual friend coming in contact with each other, and I'm like, well, I got more in common with you than I got with this girl. So
it wasn't like that.
We
were all, I think, separately growing apart from our mutual person. So it wasn't like we became friends and we were like, oh, forget her. It was not like that. We were not those type of women. But I mean, we were already separating. And we were already growing apart. And then we just had, like she said, a lot more in common. We had fun together. It was not a one-sided friendship. We could talk to each other about things. And
agreed.
It
was a good friendship. And I just, like you said, just able to have something in common with someone. So that's how we met. But basically, kind of let's talk about the timeline of our friendship. So from 2015 into where are we at now? 2021. Which I think is very interesting because basically, since the time we met, Tisha has lived overseas for most of that. But we always stay connected. We've always stayed in touch. So don't say you can't meet friends as adults because you sure can. You just got to put the effort into, staying friends. So,
absolutely. You put the time in. When you want to hang out with somebody, you get flued out or you fly yourself out, and y'all make it happen. I mean, you don't have to talk every day because Kiah and I, we don't talk every single day. We're not on the phone texting because we both have our lives. She's married. I'm single, so I have dates that I need to go on. So
she be cutting me short. I'm like, what you doing? I'm over here pregnant and trying to talk because I'm emotional, and she getting. Oh girl, I'm just about to get out and get dressed. I'm like, dang. Okay, well, have a good time. Let me know how it goes.
Or I'm in France, or I'm somewhere.
I know.
I'm doing stuff I probably shouldn't be doing.
So tell like the people where you've been and just a little bit of like that background since 2015.
Okay, so Kiah and I, we actually met, I want to say it had to be 2014 because I met you before I went to Bahrain.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So we met in probably that beginning of summer, like June, July timeframe.
Okay.
Maybe even before that, a little before that. I ended up getting an opportunity to work for the Navy in Bahrain. So it wasn't a place I really wanted to go, but it opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So I went overseas to Bahrain. From there I went to Korea, where I stayed for almost 3 years.
Yeah, say South Korea.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. South Korea. Usually that's assumed, you know. But South Korea, y'all. I wasn't in, North Korea. So I went to South Korea for almost 3 years. Wonderful time, best time of my life. Moved to Washington for a year. Things didn't work out career-wise there. So if you're unhappy somewhere, don't complain about it, just make a change. So that's exactly what I did. I was not happy where I was. The area was beautiful, but work and life balance just wasn't working. So I said, let me make a change. Always wanted to live in Germany. My parents were prior military. They had been stationed over there, my dad and my stepmom specifically. And I got a job in Germany. So that's where I live now.
So I was gonna say she's definitely the person who helped me get the mentality to get out of Virginia. So I would say probably a year after she left, I took the job in Chicago, and that's when I was like, I don't need no man, I don't care, I'm out, or whatever the case may be. So having those friends around you just never know how people influence you. And I would definitely say when I saw her just like, to me it was up and leaving. I know it's not up and leaving because she had a whole job, but for me it's like, how are you just gonna leave everything you've always known and just go? So that was an inspiration for me to leave. So that's put me from Chicago down to Florida, and I have no plans.
Florida.
Yeah. And then I have no plans to go back to Virginia. So I would say I appreciate having you there, because I don't know if I would have even thought about
leaving.
I mean, I wanted to leave, but sometimes it's hard to do when you don't. I've never saw anyone actually leave. Yeah, a little push. And I was like, you was living your best life, so I'm trying to live my best life too.
And it's funny because at this time, she had already met her husband, RaMone, at this time.
Yep.
So for her to actually get up and go to Chicago, I mean, that was inspiration for me because she was in a whole relationship. And it shows that you don't have to sacrifice anything. You can still be in love, have a relationship, and make things work and put in that effort and still do the things you want to do for yourself and your career. So she didn't put herself on the back burner just because she was in a relationship. So I'm like, oh girl, whenever it gets to that point, I could do it too, So that was just really great. So you also inspired me. So it's not one-sided. See, people,
we making inspirations and shit. All right, so that's the intro about us. So basically, let's go into what we're going to actually talk about for this podcast. So it's going to be basically about what women want, and you will have two perspectives. that part. So you'll have something from a single person perspective and then from a married person's perspective. So I would say let's kind of start off of what women want when we're dating. So I'm gonna let you start and I'll interject kind of from when I was dating. So what do women want?
I mean, what phase of dating are we in? So we have our phase where it's just, I want to taste all the flavors and see what's out there. It's a buffet of men or women, if that's your choice. So you just want to kind of taste everything. So at that point, you're not really looking for anything
That's a good explanation.
serious. You're not looking for anything serious. You just want to see what's what. And that's how you figure out what you actually want. You can't figure out what you want if you don't know what's out there, right? So that was one stage in my life, just kind of floating around. Let me taste. You little stank. I don't like you. You little raw. No, that's sour. So figuring out first what's your flavor, right? The next stage is you start to get a little. I'm in my 30s. Okay. We're in our 30s.
Okay,
so we
can say I'm in my 20s. I don't care how she feel about it.
She in her 20s plus 10. But you get to a stage where it's okay. This was fun for a while. I think I've really discovered what I want in a man, who I am, because I've been around, I've traveled, I've had many discussions with Kiah about my escapades. Yeah, I was gonna try to find a more PC word, but escapades, I guess.
We unfiltered. We don't need no PGs, 13s, nothing. We good.
Yes, the kids should be asleep. Don't let them watch this video. But I'm at the point now where I want something more serious. So my expectations when dating a man probably aren't too different from yours, and being married. Someone who listens, who communicates well, someone who knows also what they want, and they're gonna be assertive and stand in that, and not just be swayed because I want something different. So that's, just whole honesty. I don't think that's not asking for much. Just be honest, be who you are, and
I think those are
that's
all.
what I expect.
I agree with
Generic.
all that. So I'm gonna say something a little different. I mean, it's gonna be the same, but a little different. Because as I've said before, how me and RaMone met, I wasn't looking for no man. I ain't want no man, and he was just the right man at the time. So I agree. Tasting the flavors, escapading, brunches, lunches, and dinners, all of the above. Enjoy yourself. But I think throughout that time, that's how you find yourself. Know what you want. Know what you're interested in, and you're preparing yourself for marriage or whoever that person may be. And if it's not, you are comfortable with just being you or being with you. So for me, when I see dating, I see it as discovering yourself, and not necessarily, I guess, trying to pinpoint the person who is right for you.
Right.
You are looking for you, and when that person comes, honey, you will know. Because it is a surprise. I would say it's a surprise, I think, personally, because you'll definitely know that person. So that's kind of like my difference in how I feel about
that's
dating.
A good point. Dating is also, it is self-discovery, and it is really spending time with yourself. I have dates with myself all the time. I love to go to the movies, take my fine ass out to a nice meal. So and tell myself, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, it doesn't matter, if a man wants you or not, because
you already know. I wake up and be like, damn, bitch, you bad.
Look, you're looking at your hair like, ooh, she's growing.
I know.
Her skin is clear.
I'm glowing.
She's glowing. Like, she's good, and I think that's one of the most important parts of dating, is really that self-discovery. So that's a really good point.
All right.
Brought that up.
Perfect. So I think we kind of talked about like that, our thoughts on dating and what it is that we want. So for me, it's just basically discovering myself. And then you would say you agree to that, but you think that at this, I guess, age and point, you're looking for a little bit more serious. Okay.
Yeah, more serious, definitely.
Cool. So I would say, like, how do I want to go into this? Let's not go into that part first. So I'm gonna say, what is it that you want in the long term? So I'm obviously married, have a family, have kids. So somebody who is still single, what is it that you're looking for at this point?
Okay. So for me, I want to start a family. And let's define what family can be or what it is. Because most people look at it as, you start a family, that means you get a husband or wife, and you have kids. I do not want to have kids. That's not something. I work with children. I love children. I like other people's children. But just being in that type of career, it's very draining, and it's something that I don't want to bring my work home. I don't want to feel like I don't have enough energy to give to my children, enough love. So it's just not fair to bring kids into the world if that's not something I feel I can do my best at. If it just happened and it was like, I would be happy with it, I would be thrilled, but I don't want to have children. So I do want to eventually get married and have a family, and that's just a husband and a dog. No cats, I don't like cats. But that's what I want to do. I want to get married, I want to buy a house, I want to live somewhere and just be in love and travel and be happy with my man. That's what I want.
So in this van you're looking for, what would you say this person not physically looks like, but what does this person look like? Because you said you don't want kids, so do you accept other things?
Yes.
Okay,
actually,
so go ahead.
I am more than happy to inherit somebody else's children, because they already have a mother who's full-time, and if he's a summertime dad, or if he gets the kids on the weekends or every other week, I'm all down for that. So I'm not opposed to being involved in a child's life at all. Like, that's something I think is very special for children to have bonus parents and have other people in their life that do love them and care for them and are willing to put in the work and effort to help raise them. Because it takes a village. You can't do it on your own. So, as long as the mother is accepting of me, and I'm respectful of her wishes and how she chooses to raise her children, and then, of course, my husband as well, or boyfriend, whatever, that's, I'm more than happy to do that. So if he has kids, that's actually probably ideal, because that means he doesn't want any more, and I don't have that pressure. So that's fine with me. If he has no kids, I'm not gonna lie, I might be a little bit hesitant about that, because if he doesn't have kids and he does want to have kids, that's going to be a deal breaker for most people if that's something they really want. So
exactly.
It probably wouldn't work because I wouldn't want to feel pressure to have children just because I love you and want to be with you, you know. So
that's a good point. So I love the point of view of like a different dynamic or a different idea of what marriage looks like. It doesn't look like necessarily how me and Ramone's marriage is, where you get married and then you buy a house and then we have this child. So it's a lot of a different idea. So I'm actually going to go a little sidetracked because I think that people want to know.
Oh gosh.
I think that people want to know, how is it dating outside of the country?
Oh, so that's quite interesting. So one thing about dating outside of America, you're gonna get different perspectives culturally. So they view dating a little differently. I've had men ask me, "Can I be your husband?" Baby, what's my middle name?
Oh my gosh,
do you know if you like me? Like, do you really like me? Or
I love you after 3 days.
Yeah, and it's just like, okay, I can see why. I mean, I'm amazing, but it's just, so that's a little different. Mostly I've dealt with some African men. I actually dated one German guy who was really phenomenal. He was a great guy, but he just had some emotional baggage. But pros of dating overseas, you get men that most of them speak 3 and 4 different languages. So they're wicked sharp. They can communicate. Like, we go out to a restaurant and they're just speaking in German, and then you turn around speaking in French, and it's really attractive. And it's just like, oh wow, it makes me feel a little bit like.
So they just go overseas to get you a man. Basically,
they're smart, they're driven, and they just view things just so differently. So it's nice to get those different perspectives. I do enjoy that. It's just that sometimes the aggression.
A little bit more aggressive than American men.
I love you. Let's get married. And you're like, oh wait, we met 2 days ago on Tinder. So let's not do that. But yeah, I enjoy dating overseas. But I also love American men too. Don't get me wrong now. It's just nice to have different flavors,
Okay, so I'll pull us back, but I had to push that way just so people can understand that it's a little bit different than dating necessarily in the States.
And you might not necessarily have a common language that's fluent, because I do have that situation. Actually, he speaks German and French and some English, so that's something you might run into as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get into like kind of the marriage part and like, what is it that once you are married, what is it that you want in your marriage? So since I am married, let me start now. It's do things change when you're married? I would definitely say yes. I think being with somebody, that one person all the time, things are always going to change because it's nothing different. You live together, you see each other, so you gotta I don't know if it's spice it up or try new things, but I do feel like you have to have some type of confidence or some type of foundation before going into the marriage. So I feel like me and Ramone have like this really good communication. We've always said that. Like, I think we communicate really well, so that has helped like if there's issues that come up or things that may be questionable, it's like, okay, we can talk through it and let's try to figure it out.
Yes.
But just going
issues.
Exactly, you will.
Naturally.
Exactly. But like, what is it that I want? It's like, I think it's all kind of happening. It's like the marriage, now it's the baby, and then it's the like being friends all the time. Like, I feel like, I don't know how I want to say this, because even if we were to get divorced or whatever, I'm like, that's my friend. Like, that's the homie. That's still the homie.
Still cool.
We gonna always be friends, so I want that to always come first.
That's really good that you mentioned that. So there's a group of people that in Germany, and they talked about that. They said, well, what is it that women are missing? And one of the guys was saying companionship. So the fact that you're able to say, even after God forbid,
and I'm saying but that's
but
my friend.
Yes, and that's something that I've had to remember, because there's certain guys that I've dated, and it's just like I don't know him as a friend. We were never friends.
No, it just jumped into more than that.
We were in a relationship, so it was and it's unfortunate that I don't have those people in my life anymore. So you saying that is a really
I would
good
say
point.
So that even would go into like the dating portion. What do you want from somebody? That goes back to where I was saying, like, just enjoy yourself, have fun, because then you become friends with those people.
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Yes.
Don't be looking for nobody. Just enjoy yourself, have fun, and you become friends because that's. I didn't expect that, but I became friends with him, and I feel like that's what built that strong foundation piece. What else do I want?
Good advice. That's why you talk to married people about stuff. Because be friends, have fun, enjoy, and that's what I'm doing.
And I don't make it sound like don't get married. I don't want anybody to ever think that way, but don't pressure yourself into feeling like you have to get married and feel like this is like the goal that I must get to. Because you can enjoy just yourself, or that person will be there, I guess, eventually.
And still date with intention. So I don't think she's saying it to say don't date with intention with the hope one day to get married, but just enjoy the moment and don't always say, well, when we get married, are we getting married? Is that what you want? Because
I mean, in the dating part, because I do think once you're with somebody, like a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, I do think you can kind of bring that up. But I'm saying as you are meeting people, like those first few weeks and few months, and you're not exclusive, that's what I want to say. Well, maybe you're not exclusive. Well, why? Like, why are you worried about if you any of that? Get married. Just have fun. First. Yes. See, figure out if you can be even friends and be in the same room as this person.
Yeah. Can they live together? Does he do?
Basically do clean up after himself.
Does he? Does he put the toilet seat down? I mean, Lord. Common courtesy, friends. Just please, nieces and nephews, put the seats down. Thank you. Nieces and nephews, put the seats down. Yes,
oh my gosh. So what else do I want in marriage? I got the friendship. I got the baby.
Is there anything that you wanted that you felt like you didn't get?
Ooh.
That's hot topic.
Hot topic. Okay, Wendy Williams.
Please don't compare me to
Oh.
We all have our talents and she has hers. Mine is, no different.
So I would say I don't think there is. I don't. That's such a hard thing. Like, am I missing something in my relationship? Is there? Is it not perfect? I don't think anything's perfect, but I do think that I'm good with where I am, where we are, where me and him are. And if there is something that comes up, I feel like we figure it out. And I figure we overcome it. Because there's always going to be something that comes up. Nothing's going to be, we fixed this problem, relationship's going to be great today. No, because shit's going to come up for the next 40 years or whatever we're together.
Right.
So what's different than that? So long as maybe what do I want in a relationship is being able to change and adjust and being able to, I guess, be fluid. Grow. So that would be something what I want in a marriage. So I gave 2 things because now my brain shot. What else what would you say if you were to get married? What would you say you would want in a marriage?
I think the same. Someone I can constantly grow with, and someone who's not going to be complacent with and not try to do new things or different things, because you can fall into a routine. We all have our routines. We like to do things a certain way. But if we want to remain happy and keep the spice, as you said, and we want to just do different things. You still want to date in your marriage. You don't want to get married and not date. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's what I would hope. Someone who's going to always want to have fun and want to try new things and grow and not just be the same old same. We wake up, we go to work, we come home, we may or may not have sex. I almost said the whole thing. Sorry. We may or may not, or it's very vanilla. Like, I want someone who's going to be, let's push me and I can push them.
Yes, the push me and I will push you, that part. Someone where you want to see someone succeed on both sides. Whether, career, mentally, being a parent,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Helping push each other,
right?
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
All right. So I would say that wraps up the what women want piece. But I'm thinking like maybe we should kind of just talk about being friends in like your 30s and like what do being friends in your 30s look like?
Well, it makes you have more money
and to do shit.
That's
number one. You got more money to do stuff, basically.
Like, I used to be like, oh my God, I'm dreading not having being 20-something anymore. But then I think back, like, dang, I didn't have no money when I was 20-something. Now I can travel. Like, we went to Ghana right before COVID.
I'm like, you want to go to Africa?
Yeah, and it's not a question of, oh Lord Jesus, let me save for 5 years.
I know to get to it. It was all done in 1 year.
Yep, it was just like, oh, this is the payment plan. This is what we're doing.
And bam,
boom, and it got.
It's funny you say that. So remember we went to Atlanta? I think you were coming back from Key West. And we went to Atlanta. And that was the. Oh yeah, that's what Palooza,
y'all.
Yeah. So you said, oh, you should come to Atlanta. So I think that was like the first time I've never like flown out or seen people, not in that aspect. And I'm like, I don't think in my mind, like, I don't think I have enough money, and I'm not sure. Right. And I was like, let me just do this because I was like, because I hold myself back from doing stuff. Yes. So people help drive you to be to be a little bit better and enjoy yourself. Yes. And I had so much fun at Henny Palooza. I had never been so hungover, y'all.
Yes. Shout out to Dante and Kiah. I love y'all so much. Yes, they pushed me to do stuff like that. So
because she pushed me, and I wouldn't have been like, I'm not gonna fly out for a weekend to spend $200 something on a flight. But now I'm like, where we going? 2 days?
Yeah, we going. Oh, okay, that's in my budget.
I just checked, make sure we good,
yes.
And I am ready.
She's very good with her money. She's very thoughtful and very much, let me see, let me weigh this out. So she's very analytical. She does. But that's great because I'm always that way. I just be like, all right, whoop. And and it's just like, you can't be that way. You gotta build, you gotta save, you gotta do things. So
I got better because like before I was so frugal, but now I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Where the trip at?
But you still think about these things.
I do better. But now you like, when you got a little bit of money, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's
you got a little coin.
When you got some coins, it's a little bit different. All right, what else would you say? Maybe we can get one more thing about being friends in your 30s.
I mean, just the fact that she's married and I'm not, so getting those varying perspectives, because she's been where I was and she understands and she's seen what it looks like when things change over to, oh, we were dating, we were in a relationship, oh, now we married with kids or having kids. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a very valuable, thing to have in a friendship, especially at this age, because I'm like, my parents aren't together, so I don't have any. Any models to look at, because all the relationships that are close to my life aren't, they've severed, you know what I mean? And which is fine, people grow and people change. So it's nice to have someone who is very close to you, who you trust, and who is going to give you the real. Because I asked her the same question over FaceTime that I did the other day.
Oh, in person.
Like, it ain't gonna change. I guess it gonna change.
Because I see you.
Because I see you. Right. You think it's gonna change? It's gonna be different. I told you. I said what I said. Basically.
It is. I said what I said.
But that is really great. Just having people like yesterday. They had a little get together at the house, and I was surrounded by married couples, all Black, all pretty successful in their own right, and it was just very nice to be in that environment for a little bit. And then it got to the point where it's like, I'm the only single lady here. All y'all,
but you shouldn't feel like that.
Well, I mean, but it does. It does feel like a little bit more, I think, because everybody's perspective is marriage, and then mine is single, and it's...
But I love, and this is, I'm going to stop you right there, because this is the part where I'm like, I love to live vicariously through you. I'm like, so what you do today? Right? Tell me what happened. Right. Oh, how many guys would you... Like, that, for me, I'm excited. I love to hear that single perspective, because I love to see women enjoying themselves and not worried about what a man's gonna do for them, any of that stuff. So
I want one. That's better.
I am happy, and I be waiting for the end. I love to hear what single people got to say. Tell me more. I want to know. So like, I do. So like, I'm like, I hate that you feel that way. Being around married people, because this is like really my first time being around married people, other married people, because it's always like me, RaMone, and everybody's single. Right. And I was comfortable with it. It is what it is. So, but now this is the first time where it's like all our friends are married. I'm like, this is interesting.
Because y'all can talk about, what are the problems in your, like, how do y'all get through things? And you get that perspective. I can't get
but listen, but also everybody's opinions and thoughts ain't necessarily all that, because everybody has different opinions. I mean, it's good. I guess it's good to hear, but I do think sometimes even getting marriage perspective, everybody's marriage is different, so their perspectives and their opinions are going to be different. So sometimes you just have to like, okay, thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That was a waste of time.
Like, no, it's just like, okay, thank you. That's where I'm at. I will hear somebody out in a heartbeat, but that don't mean that I'm reacting to everything you say
and taking it to heart.
Exactly. Because I think sometimes people can feel like that their way is the right way.
Yes.
But
which is how it can feel when you're single and everyone's married.
Oh my gosh.
They did it right and I did it wrong.
No one said that.
You didn't, there are people, and no one even from last night, I don't think, but there are married people who will be like, So when you're gonna get married? Well, who said I had to get married?
And that's why we're
you know
doing
what I'm
this.
saying?
Because
So
you don't have to if you don't want to.
You really don't. You don't have to have kids if you don't want to have kids. You don't have to get married if you don't want to get married. Your way is not necessarily wrong or anything. It's just different. It's just different. You know, whatever makes you happy is what you need to do. So being single and being a sexy as auntie to everybody else's kids is what you want to do.
That right there.
Connect.
That right there.
Do that.
So I think that wraps us up. That basically gives us the final say. Being a sexy ass auntie is where it is, no matter what. So look, guys, thanks for tuning in to Married and Unfiltered with our special guest, Lateshia, and we will see you next time. So don't forget to like, subscribe, comment on our platforms at Married and Unfiltered on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.